Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and I am going to do your August the 12th just for today in a meditation. I hope you're doing well this morning. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation. It is entitled Enough. Something inside cries out, Enough, enough, I've had enough. And then they are ready to take that first and often most difficult step toward dealing with their disease. Have we really had enough? This is the crucial question we must ask ourselves as we prepare to work the first step in Narcotics Anonymous. It doesn't matter whether or not we arrived in NA with our families intact, our careers still working for us, and all the outward appearances of wholeness. All that matters is that we have reached an emotional and spiritual bottom that precludes our return to active addiction. If we have, we will be truly ready to go to any lengths to quit using. When we inventory our powerlessness, we ask ourselves some simple questions. Can I control my use of drugs in any form? What incidents have occurred as a result of my drug use that I didn't want to happen? How is my life unmanageable? Do I believe in my heart that I am an addict? If the answers to these questions lead us to the doors of Narcotics Anonymous, then we are ready to move on to the next step toward a life free from active addiction. If we have truly had enough, then we will be willing to go to any lengths to find recovery. Just for today, I admit that I have had enough. I'm ready to work my first step. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the wee version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Enough. Most of us listening to the podcast today, we can say we've had enough. And in order to remain in that state of gratitude and appreciating our own gift of desperation, there's some things that we should consider doing on a regular basis. Self-care is one of those things that is high on the list. Making sure we avoid the halt, right? HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. Making sure that we avoid those. Because if we don't, a lot of times that can push us into a corner that we can't get out of without having created some other damage. And it oftentimes can include picking up the drug. So self-care is very important. Making meetings, having a sponsor, staying in touch with that sponsor, working the steps. These are some things that we should do, incorporate into our routine, our new lifestyle on a daily basis, wherever possible, especially the self-care part, right? Practicing these principles in all our affairs is also one of those things that we should be doing daily. Now, when I think about staying in touch with our sponsor and working the steps, that is a continuum. It starts and it should never end. If there's designated times that you've agreed to be in touch with your sponsor, keep to that. If there's not, just make sure that you're in touch on a regular basis. If you're working the steps, continue to work the steps. If you haven't worked them in a while, dig them out and get started again. These are things that can help us to give proof to the fact that we've reached a bottom and we're not going back to that bottom. We're not going to create a new bottom. When we say enough is enough, we roll our sleeves up and we get busy with the first step. And if you're a person that you've gone back out and you're returning, welcome back. The only person that's going to beat you up about that is yourself. Yes, you're going to hear people in the meetings share about chronic relapsing or relapsing. There's a whole chapter about it, recovery and relapse, right? You're going to hear that and you can internalize it. And I would say to some extent, you should internalize it from the perspective of what went wrong for you and what you need to do different. And that's it. It's not a term people are going to avoid just because you relapse and they don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. We've been talking about relapse in the essence of, in the spirit of recovery. We've been talking about relapse for a long time. And so just because it's more recent for you does not mean that everyone's going to change the way that they share to accommodate that tender area in your spirit right now. But hopefully, what will happen is that you'll continue to come back. You'll continue to stay clean, to pull yourself up and start reaching out, to the people that have supported you all these years, right? Working your steps on a more thorough basis, or maybe for the first time, get a sponsor. And you too will be able to join the conversation in a sense of what can we do to help each other not relapse. Be gracious to yourself, okay? My name is Mighty Stream, and I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that your enough has been enough and that you're ready to work your first step or just another step out of the 12. Talk to you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day on purpose.